Hi everyone, it's Board Game Buddy. I have here Mage Knight, the board game, Shades of Tezla expansion. I was able to pick it up today. Today is July 29th, Wednesday, so I got it maybe a little bit earlier, which makes me happy. And I'm really excited to open this up and see what we have. Well, first, I guess, if we take a look, you can see the really nice artwork. I particularly like the detail of the bear. And then on the side of the box, I also particularly like the detail of the little fox that's resting up there on Braevalar's shoulder. It's a smaller size box, similar in size to the Krang character expansion box, maybe a little bit bigger. Here you can see the back as well. And we'll zoom the camera in just a little bit as we open the box up. Alright, lots of great content here. So we can see the pieces for, I believe these would be the faction leaders. And you can see all of the detail on the back as well. So again, we have the faction leader avatars. You can see the artwork here on the front. From the side, you can see their general thickness. And on the reverse side, you can see the various attack values and also their armor. They definitely feel nice and heavy, nice and sturdy. Easy to imagine them being on the table as you go on your journeys. Here you have the various location tokens, I guess. You can see some of the artwork there, and then also I believe probably the same on the other side. And of course we have here the various command tokens for our new Mage Knight. Nothing, different, the same as the command tokens for all the other characters. Although we are able to see the new symbol for Braevalar. And here we have the various skills for Braevalar, and I'll take just a moment to open these up. And then while I do that, you all can take a closer look here at the figure and the cards. Alright, so here is Braevalar's round order token. You can see the nice artwork there of Braevalar. And then again, you can see his symbol on the reverse side. Unfortunately, it looks like the little fox that we noticed on the box does not appear on the art, but you can just use your imagination to see it there. Here we have the various skills that are associated with Braevalar. This is obviously one of the multiplayer skills that you would need to use. Here is a skill appearing to grant movement. Here is a skill providing you with mana tokens or mana crystals. Here is a skill adding what appears to be ranged attack to perhaps multiple enemies. Here is a skill providing you attack, as well as it appears to be a choice of other options. More mana. Perhaps influence based upon location. Cooperative skill. Attack skill. It's like discarding a wound for a mana or paying a mana to discard a wound. And then a multi-use skill. Here we have Braevalar's deck, and I am going to take a moment to open that up, in which case you guys can continue perhaps to peruse these various skills, which I will lay out for you to take a look at. Alright, so coming up next we have the character card. You can see that these have the correct backs, and there are two character cards. One is for the Mage Knight who comes with our set, who is obviously Braevalar. And then the other is the Krang character card. And of course we have a character card for Krang because in the original print of his expansion, the back of the card was printed incorrectly. So now you will be able to safely shuffle all of your character cards and choose truly at random. Here we have the descriptions of the various skills. This one including the one competitive multiplayer skill, and this including the cooperative multiplayer skill. I will lay these here beside the skills so that you can peruse those while I open up more of the pieces. Alright, here we have the 16 card deck, the basic deck for Braevalar, and 14 of these cards are no surprise. They would be cards like Crystallize, Rage, Mana Draw, etc. But as we know, the expansions beginning with the Lost Legion included two character-specific cards, and you can see those here. Druidic Paths, and one with the land. So I'll set those there for your review while I open up more content. Alright, so in this wrapping we have the new enemy tokens. So I'm going to kind of dish these out somewhat randomly, I suppose. can organize them later. Here we have new dungeon enemies. You can see an example of one of them here. Here we have new orcs. Perhaps I shouldn't say orcs, but rather marauding enemies, and you can see an example of one here. Here we have new draconum. You can see an example of one here. And it appears that those are the only 3 categories of new enemy included with this expansion. Here we have some random new pieces. To be honest, I'm not sure what these are. I know that many of you will know, having read through the rulebook already that was posted on WizKid's website, but these are for me to discover. Alright, likewise, I'm not entirely sure of what these pieces represent, but again, I know that many of you will already be familiar having read the rulebook. They may perhaps, I believe, be new kinds of skills or abilities which you can acquire. For example, it looks as though this piece in certain circumstances will give you 2 movement. This piece will give you a variety of, looks like, attacks. And those are pieces specific to one of the factions. I'll try to show you pieces coming from the other faction. If this is the Elementalist faction, I guess it makes sense that it appears to give you healing. This appears to affect wounds. This is another. All right, and it appears we just have a few more things to look at. These are the shield tokens for Braevalar. Pretty straightforward. And then finally, as we move the camera over, you'll be able to see the Braevalar mini itself. He appears smaller than the other minis. He doesn't seem to be quite as large, for example, as someone like Goldix or Krang. But, pretty much the same level of detail. He doesn't appear nearly as kind of bulky as he does on the box art. And, of course, the little fox on his shoulder is also missing, unfortunately, on his mini. Just by way of comparison, I will stand some of the other minis next to Braevalar if you wanted to see, to get a sense of his size. Here is Braevalar and Krang side by side. Pardon me, Braevalar and Goldix side by side. Here is Braevalar and Krang. Can clearly see how these two characters are, I would say, almost significantly larger. Braevalar is more in line with a character like Wolfhawk or Tovak. Thank you for watching, everyone. This has been Board Game Buddy, and we hope you enjoyed the unboxing of Mage Knight Shades of Tezla expansion.